Next on our show is a wonderful guest, a woman who is a versatile actress with lots of experience, and you may have seen her on Coronation Street, amongst other things. But she's also an activist. She's co-founder and member of Disabled Artists Network and Community, DANC. Please welcome Cherylee Houston.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Cherylee. So maybe let me say some more things about DANC. This is a project run by the arts organization CCC, and it's for disabled artists, by disabled artists, and promotes two-way conversations between disabled artists and key industry professionals. Maybe you say something about this organization. Why did you co-found this CCC organization?
Because I've been a disabled artist for over 25 years, and I have experienced so many blocks myself, and I didn't want the next generation of disabled people to have the same blocks I had in accessing the arts and also accessing our dreams. DANC is an organisation we created 2.5 years ago. We have now over 900 disabled artists, actors, dancers, writers, musicians, photographers, and we come together so the industry know where to find us, and it's really working. We're advertising job opportunities each week. We're connecting production companies with disabled talent. We're progressing disabled writers through. So it's about having a two-way conversation, discovering what the blocks are, creating a solution together and moving it forwards.
Mm-hmm. So maybe just now, are you satisfied at the moment with the level of diversity that the roles, your roles provide for you?
Am I happy with them? No. I think I was trying to think of a better way to answer that, but no. Disability is 1/5 almost of the population, and we are not being represented on our screens in that way. People still get surprised when they see a disabled actor on their screens. Probably in most countries you can name all the disabled actors you know on one hand, and that's just not enough, and that's not fair on our disabled young people, and that's not fair by not providing role models to ensure people can achieve what they want to achieve in life.
So in which ways is the situation different being a disabled actress and not an actor, or is it not different?
I realised a lot more female actors, disabled actors, are getting work, and that's really interesting because I don't know what that means about our presence on screen, because that also says a lot about what society judges disability as, and is that about the male thing of it not being acceptable? Do you know what I mean? Because there's a lot about disability that isn't considered acceptable, or we've all got a lot of subconscious bias, and we've all got preconceived ideas of how disabled people were viewed 20, 50 years ago, and that carries on our screens. And I think it's really important that we become responsible because as storytellers, we are telling society back their stories, and currently at the moment, we're regurgitating those stories that disabled people aren't really of value, and haven't got stories to tell, or they're always a victim, or they're, there needs to be a lot more work in this area.
Can you say some more about that? You mentioned victims or other stereotypes. Maybe something about these roles that you get.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate. I've been in my job for 11 years now in a continuing drama. Prior to that, as an actor with a disability, I'd probably only ever auditioned for one role which wasn't disabled, and that it's really weird because a disability is just a bit like the same as hair colour. It's just a given circumstance. But I think currently we still see it as a character trait, and it's not a character trait. My personality, I could be a lover, a mother, a robber. I could, there's so many things I could possibly play, but quite often the industry think that it's playing disability. And also the problem is, from a non-disabled point of view, that's seen as tragedy, or that's awful, and gosh, wouldn't that be horrible if that happened to me? But as a disabled person, you've got over all that. You're quite happy with it. It's actually given you a lot of different qualities in life, that I'm a very different human being than I would be if I wasn't disabled. So it has taught me an awful lot. But I think it's really important to represent us and represent our stories, because there's such an exciting creative choice with disability. It means that we're going to tell a story in a different way, and that's what we're always hungry for, is to see new stories and new angles and lifestyles. So yeah, it's really, really important to increase representation.
And I bet you hear a lot from casting directors, for example, I'm sorry, but the role doesn't require a wheelchair. So what do you answer them?
It's that thing, I think that's the subconscious bias, is realising that actually I could play many roles, as could many of my disabled peers. A visually impaired actor doesn't have to play roles just about the fact that they can't see very well. A deaf actor shouldn't be playing roles about that they can't hear very well. It's all a bit dull, all those stories. Do you know what I mean? I think we've got to start clearing off that layer. And what you need to do is the producers should, when the script arrives on a desk, this is something we've really learnt through Dank, is that look through, talk with the writer and see which of those characters could be played by an actor with a disability if it's not a key thing that's not going to impact on that. And then also when you get the best actor for the job, then talk to the actor about where their access will impact on that storyline, which is a much easier way of doing it, because otherwise what we're doing at the moment is deciding a disability to attach to a character, and because our industry isn't employing people, that has this massive ricochet effect where people aren't being trained, people aren't seeing it as a job, so therefore it's even harder to find a very specific disability. So if you then find the best actor for the role, you could go in access groups. You could maybe go, you want somebody with mobility, you want somebody with physical impairment, you want somebody with a hearing impairment, then bring them into the role and see what they can inform the script. It doesn't need massive changes at all.
So what do you think about not disabled actors who play disabled characters?
Not a lot. To me, it breaks me out of it stops it being true. Do you know what I mean? The problem is, again, that thing of the given circumstance, and subtext is always about, oh, this is awful, this would be terrible, because they think it would be. Whereas me in my wheelchair, I'm getting from A to B. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. And you can see they're stereotypes. Of course they're stereotypes, because it's lived experiences. And also they're playing the stereotype that our industry is playing on the screen for them to think that that's what it's like to be, seeing somebody play visually impaired and then, stare straight ahead the whole time, or bump into things on purpose, or see somebody using a wheelchair like that. It just makes you go, oh, you haven't got a clue. And then that stops it being true. You know what I mean? Whereas if you get a disabled actor to play those parts, they're going to concentrate on the character rather than all this peripheral stuff that really jars on screen.
Mm-hmm. So what was your own important step through the doors, if you may say so, to get into this job?
Yeah, it took a long time because of my disability. I got refused roles. I think I had 12 telecredits before I could get an agent to take me on. I think things have changed an awful lot in recent times. I think one of my key jobs was probably Little Britain, and then after that my job is on Coronation Street, which is a continuing drama in the UK, and that really has made a difference because it's given me a voice. It's allowed me to have the platform to talk about these issues, which is, and I'm so fortunate with that job, because they took me on board, and they don't write about disability, they write about the character.
Okay, so as a last question, the goals for DANK, how would you say, what are the DANK goals on a European level, maybe, for this network?
We would love, next year we are talking about reaching out to see how we can start DANK in Europe, because what we've done is create a fantastic blueprint where we have connected disabled artists from all over the country. We're connecting them with production companies, broadcasters, producers. So it means that we've created this network. So it means that it isn't the industry's responsibility to make that change. It isn't our responsibility to make that change. It's about having conversations and changing it together, taking away the fear of getting it wrong, the fear of not even knowing where to start. We can help you. It's lived experience. We know how to do it. And if we don't, we will know somebody who does. So if we can take that to Europe and create a Europe-wide hub and connect all the disabled artists and all the industry who want to have those conversations and make those changes, because it's just about having a ripple effect. It's about making a pledge to make a change today and going, okay, I'll take my first step. I will have a conversation. Because as soon as you start having conversations, you take away the fear.